Hi, my name's Courtney. I'm from Warrington, PA. I'm going to be staying at the Ronald McDonald House for 2 months for my diagnosis of aplastic anemia. I really appreciate the food that the Ronald McDonald House has to offer for their kids here. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to Served with Love. I'm your host, Jared Johnson. Today's episode is sponsored by Tyson Foods. We're very excited today that the chef Roger DiDomenico from Tyson Foods is going to join us for a little virtual Q&A and then do a little demo of his own because today we're focusing on a tailgate party. So here we are, we're setting up for our tailgate party. And for me, a tailgate party starts and ends with wings. So I'm gonna do some great wings today, and I'm gonna make a homemade sauce to dress the wings, and then I'm gonna make some buttermilk ranch to dip the wings in. But before we get into that, we're gonna bring in Chef Roger DiDomenico from Tyson Foods. He's gonna do a little demo for us, and we're gonna talk about the relationship between the Ronald McDonald House and Tyson Foods. All right, we're here with Chef Roger DiDomenico from Tyson Foods. Thank you, Roger, so much for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about this new partnership with Tyson Foods and the Ronald McDonald House?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. So Tyson Foods has been partnering with Ronald McDonald House actually since 1982, believe it or not. So what's fun about it is we've got team members throughout the country that go into the local houses, and to us, that's the most important part, is when we get to spend time with people like you and the families in the house and meet and share some food that we love.
So what is the culinary path that you took that got you with Tyson Foods?
So believe it or not, culinary is my second career. I was in finance first, and then went back to culinary school. And then I worked in a couple different French restaurants downtown Chicago before I finally made my way to the R&D team at Tyson Foods.
So what is your favorite type of food that you like to cook?
Ooh, well, my last name probably gives it away. DiDomenico. I'm gonna have to say Italian. I have a 3-year-old daughter, and she's a big fan of lasagna. So we do a lot of lasagna in our house.
What kind of tailgate food do you have for us today?
So, one of my favorite things is chicken wings, but they're not always the easiest to make because you have to have the big pot of oil. So we're gonna do buffalo style chicken meatballs today.
All right, excellent.
So all the same flavors and with half the mess.
Perfect, just the way we like it. All right, well, let's see how you do it and put that together.
All right, awesome. Let's go cook.
All right.
So what I have here is a pound of ground chicken. I have a little over a half a cup of breadcrumbs, half an onion, and 4 slices of bacon that were finely chopped and lightly sauteed, a little bit of salt, 1 egg mixed with a tablespoon of milk, and then whatever your favorite buffalo sauce is. So I start by just getting the chicken, and you want these ingredients to be fairly cold. It'll help bind the meatball. So I like to start with actually putting in the liquid. And then the breadcrumbs. And you always want to have a little bit of extra breadcrumb and just a little bit of extra milk on hand in case you need to adjust consistency. And then I'm going to add the cooled down onion and bacon mix and lightly a pinch of salt, because the bacon has salt in it, the buffalo sauce has salt in it, and most breadcrumbs also have a little salt. So if you're worried about it being a little overly salty, you can always, when you're mixing this, go light on the salt and then make a little test patty and cook that off first before you finish the batch. And I'm just going to lightly mix this all together. And one of the keys with meatballs is not to over mix it. So at this point, if it was a little too wet, I could add a little bit more breadcrumb. If it was a little too dry, I could add a little bit more milk in. So we've got this mixture together, and I just take a little small handful and get it in my hand and just quickly roll it. The size of the meatball is up to you, but you don't want to overwork it because it'll get tough and mealy. So once you've had all your meatballs made up, you want to go ahead and sear them in a pan. So if you want to come in here, you can notice this color. And this color really helps develop the flavor and also gives it some texture. So once these are done, I go ahead and add them to a crock pot on low for 30 minutes with my favorite buffalo sauce. And then 30 minutes later, you can just keep it on warm and serve it right out of your crock pot, or you can plate them up. Today I've got my two favorite football players coming over, my two nephews. So I decided to do some cheddar biscuits and make them some buffalo chicken sliders, and they asked to be served with a side of honey. So that's how I'm going to serve these today. Thanks again for having me, Chef. I look forward to actually be able to cook with you in person soon. Have a great day.
So for my portion of this tailgate party, we're going to do some wings. But we're going to do wings in a style that I love to do them, which is what I call bee sting wings, which is the sauce is a little bit sweet and very spicy. I don't like to do the disjointed wings where you get 2 pieces per wing. I like to keep them as a whole wing like this. So I trimmed the tips off of the wings, and Quadir, who's one of the cooks in the kitchen, he's become like a mad scientist with all of the spices that we have in the spice rubs. So I used a garlic rub here on these chicken wings, spice rub that Quadir made. And it's got garlic and oregano and salt and pepper and some other things in there. And I just rubbed it all over the chicken wings. And then I baked them in the oven for about 15 minutes at 350 degrees. So I'm just going to take the wings. You're just going to drop them carefully into the hot oil. When you're doing something like this, you want to drop the wings in one at a time because it may drop the temperature of your oil too low and you won't get a good fry. These are going to take about 5 minutes more to cook in the oil to get nice and crispy and cooked all the way through. So all our wings are just about in. So while our wings are going in here, we're going to shift over to this side and we're going to make our buttermilk ranch dressing. We have some mayonnaise, buttermilk, we have some fresh parsley, some fresh chives. These we just pulled from the garden. A little dry English mustard, some dry dill weed, a little bit of paprika, and a lemon. And so we're just going to put all these ingredients together in our bowl. Start with the mayo, some chives, parsley, the mustard, dill, paprika. We're going to pour in our buttermilk. We're just going to start to whisk this together, the spatula. We'll switch over to our whisk. Now we need just a teaspoon of lemon juice. And some salt and pepper. Give that another little whisk. Oh, delicious. Awesome. So now we're going to make our sauce for the wings. We're going to make our bee sting sauce here. So this is super easy. Start out with some hot sauce. Just have some regular hot sauce. You can really use any brand that you like. Now we're going to take a little honey. There's the bee part of the bee sting. And then we're going to do some cayenne pepper. We're just going to whisk this together. So it's interesting the way the honey affects it, but it actually makes it a thinner sauce than when it started. So now we'll give this a taste. That's it. Perfect. All right, so these wings are just about ready here. So I have my sauce ready. I'm going to start to take the wings out. I'm just going to pull a couple out at a time and try to drain some of that oil off before we drop them into the sauce. Just take the tongs. We're just going to toss them around here in this sauce. Get them all bee sting happy. Take some of our ranch here. We're going to leave the celery and the carrot sticks aside. We're not going to worry about that. We need more room on the plate for wings. So there it is, ready for the tailgate. Bee sting wings with homemade buttermilk ranch. All right, so that's today's episode. Thank you so much to Tyson Foods and Chef Roger DiDomenico for coming in and doing a demo for our tailgate party. If you liked today's episode, please like, comment, and subscribe. For ingredients, recipes, and information on how you can support our food services program, please visit us on the web at www.philarmh.org/chefjared.